In this video, the learner will find the missing angles in quadrilaterals. So what is a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. Each one of these polygons has 4 sides. When we talked about polygons, we talked about 2 different types. We talked about convex and concave. This quadrilateral here is convex because all of the angles point to the exterior. This quadrilateral is also convex, and this quadrilateral down here is concave because one of the angles caves in on itself. This here is going to be a chart of the types of quadrilaterals that we're going to cover in this unit. This chart's actually a flow chart, and we'll talk more about this as we go through the unit, but I want you to have this in your notes as we go through all of the types of quadrilaterals. So first we have our big picture, just everything is going to be a quadrilateral, and then quadrilaterals get broken up into 2 types, trapezoids and trapezium, which are kites. Then from trapezoids, we have isosceles trapezoids and then parallelograms. From trapezium, we have rhombi. Notice that the trapezium leads to rhombus, but also parallelograms lead to rhombus. So that's going to imply some things about properties of rhombi and properties of parallelograms. Notice from isosceles trapezoid and parallelograms, we also get rectangles. And then rectangles and rhombi will join together to form squares. So what we're going to talk about through this unit is how these types of quadrilaterals are connected and why this flow chart flows the way it does. Now let's talk about angles in quadrilaterals. If I were to split this quadrilateral using a diagonal of the quadrilateral, a diagonal just joins 2 opposite vertices. Notice I split the quadrilateral into 2 triangles. And we know triangles add up to 180 degrees. So I have one triangle of 180 degrees and another triangle of 180 degrees. So if I were to add those angles together, I would get a total of 360 degrees. Therefore, we have our quadrilateral angle sum that says if a polygon is a quadrilateral, then the sum of the polygon's angles is 360 degrees. So we know in quadrilaterals, all 4 angles will add up to 360 degrees. So if I give you this quadrilateral and I ask you to find the missing angle, we know all 4 have to add up to 360. So I can set up an equation where I know 45 plus 96 plus 74 plus the blank angle that we don't know is equal to 360 degrees. Well, we can let that blank be a variable, be x, and we want to solve for that variable. So add up the ones we know on that left-hand side and we get 215. Then subtract 215 from 360, and so that missing angle is 145 degrees. Here we want to find the measures of the angles in the quadrilateral. Notice each one of the angles is represented by an expression. 11x plus 8 represents the measure of angle D. Well, we know the measures of all 4 angles have to add up to 360. So the measure of angle D plus the measure of angle E plus the measure of angle F plus the measure of angle G equals 360. Now I can substitute each of those expressions in for their angle measure. Now I'm going to combine like terms and get 49x plus 17 equals 360. Subtract 17 from each side, and then divide by 49. So I now know x is equal to 7. But that's not what the question was asking. The question asked us to find the measures of the angles. So therefore I have to plug in 7 to each one of those expressions. So for the measure of angle D, I will have 11 times 7 plus 8, which gives me 85 degrees. For the measure of angle E, 12 times 7 plus 4 would be 88 degrees. The measure of angle F will be 13 times 7 minus 3, which gives me 88 degrees. And the measure of angle G will be 8 plus 13 times 7, which gives me 99 degrees. We now know the measures of all 4 angles. And we could check our work and see that 85 plus 88 plus another 88 plus 99 equals 360 degrees. These 4 examples I want you to try. In these first 3, I want you to find the value of that question mark angle in each one of those. And for this last quadrilateral STUV, I want you to find the value of x and then find the value of the measure of angle U and the measure of angle V.